Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this is going to be my Walking Dead episode 5 video. We learned so much about Abraham's group. This is basically like a DC group episode. I definitely did not expect to get the big reveal that we got at the end of the episode, which I'll totally talk about during spoilers. I know everyone is still wondering about Carol too. It looks like next week is when we're going to learn more about that. So I'll address that too at the end of the video. Real quick reminder too, new round of the giveaway starts right now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. Real simple. So careful for spoilers from the episode if you're not caught up. But here we go, starting with top 5 moments. Number 5, the bus flips. It totally sucks they only made it 15 miles from the church before the bus took a dive. RIP church bus. I think the last reliable car they had was probably the Dodge Charger at the prison. So many awesome things revealed in this brief moment before everything went to shit. First off, Eugene is never going to cut that hair, even if he gets his face punched off by Abraham. Maggie's totally worried about someone else. It is not Beth. And we get the start of our Abraham flashbacks. I didn't expect to get such a deep dive into his past, but we kind of learned why he's so crazy. Number 4, Abraham Eugene origin story. So all the flashbacks just tell the story of what happened to Abraham before he met Eugene. It was a nice juxtaposition that at the end of the episode, he found out that the thing that saved his life was a complete lie. He was getting ready to kill himself, so does it matter that Eugene lied to him? I think in the final moments, whenever he was just kneeling down on the road, he probably didn't care. He is just batshit crazy. It seems like based on the flashbacks, that's what the show was explaining, that he was just so out of his mind that his wife and children were afraid of him. Whenever we saw him outside later, it looked like their corpses had actually desiccated for a while, even though the time jump made it seem like it was a short amount of time between him waking up and finding them gone. I don't think that he's going to die anytime soon, so hopefully we'll get some more explanation about his life before the apocalypse. I don't think that his story once he met Eugene is quite as interesting as what happened before the apocalypse though. The flashbacks kind of make him seem like a terrible person, or at least a well-meaning person who doesn't realize that he's being terrible. Either way, the group totally needs to crash a pharmacy and find him some meds to balance out. His role needs to be slowed big time. Number 3, rest stop at the bookstore. This is actually one of the more fun parts of the episode, mostly because of pervert Eugene. This is just the first time that we've seen him getting caught watching them have sex. I would be willing to bet that he's been doing this the whole time they've been together as a group, which is a little bit scary, but kind of funny. It was nice to finally get some time with Abraham and Rosita. We didn't get too much time with them alone. Come to find out, she is way smarter than he is. Somehow I'm not surprised though. Abraham does not seem like much of a thinking man. Didn't you think it was odd though that they were burning books to build that fire, and then later we see Eugene reading H.G. Wells? The book itself was just a little foreshadowing, the shape of things to come, just sounding a little bit ominous about what might happen in their near future. But I also like the idea that it's science fiction, like Eugene exists in this fantasy world where he's like, yes, the lie can continue, I can keep this up forever. Turns out not so much. Number 2, Eugene confession number 1, I killed the bus. I was a little bit upset that Tara didn't go crazier. Like she wants to continue to keep it a secret. I think maybe because she feels at home with the group, like she's starting to feel comfortable and she doesn't want that to be destroyed. She seems so much happier in this episode too, like she and Eugene were starting to bond, especially over the mullet. Although this kind of made their friendship turn a bit of a corner. Especially the funny but really creepy moment where she caught him watching Abraham and Rosita have sex. I love that she had to stop him from confessing about the pervert sex stuff. It's just, I just came to say thank you. Eugene has gotten really interesting lately. I mean, it's just like he is bursting at the seams, trying to let go of this secret of his. Like it just wants to come out of him so bad. Like he just wants to tell someone the truth. They're still really far away from Washington, D.C. too. It's not like they were really close. And my number 1 WTF moment, Eugene reveals his big secret. The cure is total bullshit. There might be a cure out there, but he certainly has no idea what it is. People who read the comics already knew about this, but I feel like even if you didn't, the writing was kind of on the wall. Like he was being very weird. Definitely not someone that you should put your trust in. And now that Abraham punched the shit out of him, he might be dead. I like that they cut the episode at that moment. They're just going to leave us wondering whether or not he's still alive. And next week we're jumping back to Carol and Daryl, so we're going to have to wait 2 weeks at least to find out. Maybe 3 if we go back to Rick and the group after Carol and Daryl. So yes, Eugene lied. There is no cure. Everyone's pissed. They've been going to Washington, D.C. for absolutely no reason. But that's not technically true. They do have a really good shot of surviving in Washington, D.C. just because it's so fortified and there's such good infrastructure. So does it matter that he lied? I would say yes. I mean, it does matter a little bit, but he was able to save Abraham's life without really thinking about it. and everyone will have a much better chance of surviving once they get to DC. That's why I think eventually, once everyone gets over the fact that he's a total dirtbag for lying to them, they will see that going to DC is a good thing. I think everyone's mostly just going to be upset about them having to split the group up, as well as all the people that died along the way trying to get him to DC. Let me know, what was your favorite moment, and what do you think they're going to do now? Are they going to head back to Rick's group, or are they going to continue on to DC? Remember, there is like an ocean of walkers in front of them. I'll say that I think that they're going to continue on to DC. They're just going to find a different route. Overall, I give the episode an A- for giving us the deep psychological dive into Abraham. This really was his episode, even though Eugene had the big reveal. Michael Cudlitz, the actor that plays Abraham, was actually doing a Twitter Q&A before the episode and doing a whole bunch of interviews just explaining how damaged Abraham is psychologically. I mean, he was damaged in the flashbacks, so think about where he is now. That's why I love The Walking Dead so much, is that it tells such an emotional story for these characters. Like, it's not all about the gore of just them just killing a bunch of walkers. Like, it's not the spectacle. It really gets into the emotional collateral damage. During an interview, Michael Cudlitz explained that they left things a little bit more vague about what happened to his family in the flashbacks. It's just a little bit more graphic what ends up happening to them before they die. But the effect is still the same on Abraham. It just explains why he is so crazy in the head and how he uses Eugene's mission to get over it, or to at least to ignore it. I think that Abraham in present day now is going to be just like Rick was after the mid-season finale last year, like just almost catatonic. Like, he's broken emotionally and he's a little bit broken physically too. The difference is that you just saw it on Rick's face just a little more plainly, like his face was literally smashed in. But that's pretty much what happened to Abraham emotionally. Just in general though, Abraham, my favorite performer of the episode. Rosita, number 2 though, she is so smart. I can't wait to see more scenes with her just one-upping other characters. I feel like that's just a subtle wink to the fact that she's not just a pretty face. So like I said, next week, some really exciting stuff to look forward to. Lots of Carol, lots of Daryl, so be sure to subscribe to get my video. It looks like what's going to be happening is we're going to rewind to before Carol ended up in the hospital. Based on the teaser footage, it looks like they definitely had a plan. So part of her being in there is on purpose. I've also got my fingers crossed that they're going to explain who it is with Daryl in the bushes, which I think it's Noah. And just to address the issue of Eugene being dead or alive, I think that he's still alive. I think that Abraham is going to have to live with him walking around alive for a little while longer. No idea when he'll actually end up dying though. But both he and Michael Cudlitz were up to series regulars this season, if that means anything on Walking Dead anymore. I guess they can be killed off at any time. Just like normal, I'll be posting a Q&A for this tomorrow. You can click here to get a lot of the annotation as soon as I post it, and you can click here for my episode 4 video. Thank you so much for watching. So let's all high five, and I will see you guys tomorrow.